All right, we're here for our third and final feature match for week one here. And we've got another stipulation match on our hands. So we had Cody and Caleb go at it last league with a sort of a five colorish stipulation. And here they've just they've both agreed to just play every card in their pool. So
Oh my
this is what we're
god.
looking at. We're just looking at decks with every card that they've opened up to this point, which includes their opening pool and any losses they've taken. Uh,
So is it gonna be like last? It's gonna be like last stipulation where it's like whoever casts the most spells wins, or whoever can cast spells wins.
yeah, we'll see. This is all a matter of whether they can cast spells or not. I'm not sure what the deck sizes are ended up being. I know they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be. It's going to be large decks here. I would
Wow,
imagine.
what a powerhouse on turn two for a for a full pool deck.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
They're
yeah,
having a bit of sport in the chat.
yeah, they're. I mean, the literally the only reason to do this is for our entertainment. There's no actual good reason to be doing this in actual league matches that can get you wins and losses. So they're gonna have a good time with it here. So with the previous stipulation that Caleb had done with Cody was that they each had to play 10 of each basic land and then anything else goes. But that means they could just put good cards in their decks and just hope to cast them. Here they just have to put everything in their deck and just hope to cast anything. So a little more. I think makeshift battalion. Makeshift is a good word to describe what some of these draws might be. But Dan over
And
here has got a very
has like
coherent. Has had a very coherent game so far. He has a bite
wow.
down even in hand if he ever gets a green mana to kill something, and he has a gale swooper, which can give something flying. So this game might be over surprisingly quickly here.
That firebrand is really nuts in this point because like it's just like you get domain so easily because you're kind of forced to with the deck composition,
Yeah,
and then like it.
I think with the way these decks are built, you keep a hand of Mountain, Rada's Firebrand, and any five random cards.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. So the Gale Swooper is actually just going to make it lethal here unless Cody-Rayce can find a flying blocker or a reach
Well,
creature.
he has a neckcaster spider.
Okay.
Unfor-
Unfortunately,
so
it can't block,
unfortunately,
though. It won't be able to block. It has
he
less
can guise
power.
might in response.
Okay. The game goes on. Oh, he's just going to do this, but that will also. Okay,
Not
so
work out so well.
yeah, so he can Gaia's Might and give +3 here. Okay.
It's plus yes, plus three.
I mean, alternatively, he could also attack with the Spellweaver because
That's 2 damage.
he'll take two no matter what.
Okay. So here comes the power of the might.
Yeah, I kind of like attacking with the Spellweaver just because it's a guaranteed 2 damage unless it gets removed. All right, so looks like he's going to be able to keep himself alive here.
It could go either way, right? You could guys might the crypt lurker and then block, or you could let it happen, block with the spider, and then guys might the spider to make sure you get the block off, just in case he has something.
Yeah, let's see what course he decides here. Either way, he's not going to die this turn, and the Rada's Firebrand will be off the board.
Okay, so he does realize that at least going this situation, he actually gets a block in the
Yeah,
case that opponent had something.
yeah. So it turns
If
out
he,
Dan's not going to have anything here. So
oh, and Cody has just found a mountain, which lets him unlocks his entire hand.
So interesting with the Dan has a Hazardous Monument he could have cast, and he's not actually holding up any instants here. So
So
maybe he just clicked a little quickly through his turn there. Because he has Gale Swooper, which he can't cast. Bite Down, he doesn't have green, and Sure Strike, he tapped his red. So maybe he just wants to trigger the Prowess, I guess. I think that would maybe be the reason to hold the Hazardous Monument.
yeah, maybe. But
Right,
Cody realizing that Afflict 2 could be very
so this
detrimental.
Gale Swooper is
Kills off.
looking at lethal now your next turn because he could now bite down. Yeah, now that he's drawn his forest, he can actually bite down the Netcaster Spider. I was expecting to see a lot worse cards being cast, but I guess just It's a testament to like these days there's not as many bad cards in the sets.
Yeah, there's no vanilla like tutu or vanilla. There's no vanilla cards anymore.
Yeah, very
Realistically,
very very few like actual bad cards. I mean, there's a card like he has in hand, Hazard's Monument, which is like not very strong, but again can still have a minor impact here.
I think Hydra's Monument, because of the stipulation, becomes better because you could get rid of the cards that you can't cast.
Or just the bad cards that you can cast. So he's got
Yeah,
136 cards, is what his final count is here.
and there's 139 on this side. 140 now because he put in a land.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no sideboard here for Dan, so he's just
Yeah, the
coming.
most you could do.
He's what sideboard could you have? You have to put every card you have in your deck.
I mean, Dan had a very good start for a deck of 136 cards.
Well, he had a Rada's Firebrand and a red mana and another mana. Now he's got a complete unfunctional hand that he has to send back. It was 2 islands and then 5 non-blue cards or something like that. So he has also a similarly poor hand here. He has a Soaring Drake, which will be able to cast on turn 3, but he also has a Goblin Warchief with no red mana, and the rest of his hand are lands. So he has a Soaring Drake, a Goblin Warchief, and 4 lands, none of which are red. So this is
All right, well,
almost this
Cody
is
over here.
almost a mulligan to
uh,
5 here, effectively. This
yeah,
is
so Cody, he just has all black cards and he has a swamp, so he should be able to cast spells as long as he draws lands.
okay. So he's just got the one lander then.
Well, he has 2 lands. He's a mountain and a swamp, and he has to, in order for him to actually play a creature, he needs to draw a land.
So somehow he's drawn the mono black version of this deck. Did he just swap into another deck
No,
without
no, no.
without us
He
detecting?
added he added a planes,
Okay, he knows what to do.
and it looks like it pays off because he draws one of those planes.
There you go. Because that was the exact planes that he added, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so yeah, Dan just runs out the Royal Mage here on turn 2.
Oh, oh my god, that's filthy. Cody draws a seismic shift, which can destroy a land.
Ooh, destroy a land. That is
That is
that's odd.
rude. That is rude.
So this Infernal Scarring, I think this is one of the actual bad cards that we might see come up here. All right, so Dan is now halfway to casting his Goblin Warchief, so that's good news.
Okay.
He's got an Adamant Will in hand, so he can give something +2/+2 and a nice little indestructible till end of turn here. What's
Well,
uh what's going on with Cody's hand over there?
he drawn a forest, so now he can play his Saber-Tooth Mauler.
Okay, that's a
He
that's
also
a,
has
that's a cat.
he has some pretty he has some pretty less than good black cards with Blessing of Bells and Lock and Chainer's Torment.
Oh no, Chainer's Torment. Oh no, I've lost to that card more times than I care to speak about, and it's also a
But
card I
here
don't think I've ever cast.
here comes the Phyrexian Rager. No blocks, interesting. I guess he doesn't want opponent to draw a card.
Yeah, but if most of the cards are bad or uncastable, drawing cards is not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he could have gone for the trick here with Adamant Will or something like that, but I guess he's going to try and race here. He has 3 creatures versus currently 1 on Cody's side. Yeah, I'm not sure what the analysis we can have is here. It's just
It's just let's just see what opponent play or they play essentially.
yeah, it's well, I mean, to both players' credit, they've been able to cast like most of their spells in both of these games. So whatever they've done with their mana base, it's worked out. Think of how much time you have to spend like figuring out what's going in your mana base to make this deck be able to cast your spells.
I think you just have to just go about like finding the ratios of your deck.
Yeah, it's too much math for my liking, I think.
I think we might find lethal soon.
Okay.
With this Rager with the Chainer's Torment will bring to 6, and then the Seismic Shift can clean it out next turn
The
unless he
seismic
keeps
shift
storing.
make things not block, is that it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. We're weaving our way to lethal here, but watch out. If he gets a mountain, he gets
A Goblin War
Dan
Chief.
gets a 2/2 haste.
Yeah, but he's at 13 life. 13 life right now.
Ah, here's a Veil of Summer.
Wait a second.
There you go.
I mean, it's good if your opponent casts a black or blue spell. You could cycle it.
Approximately 40% of the cards that Cody's deck is going to fit that description. So maybe a little less because of artifacts. All right, so he's just going to attack and leave back the blocker here. But this might not work out. He's going to seismic shift here.
You just drew Scorching Dragonfire.
Well, that works too. The Veil of Summer will not protect against a red burn spell.
It's true.
It won't even draw a card.
He's just weighing his options. Deciding to maybe go for the Scorching Dragonfire.
Yeah, I think either way, it's as long as he goes for it, he'll get there.
Well, it's basically just like you could Scorching Dragonfire, and then you could have Blessing back up.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
mean,
play Chaos
yeah, Veil of Summer does nothing. I mean, you could put it on the stack at any point, I believe, because it doesn't target anything, but
It's true. Yep.
it's not going to do very much here. That's a fun card. That was a scourge of several constructed formats, if I recall.
Veil Summer, yeah.
Well, I mean,
A bit
one
too good for
mana
what it
Cryptic
is.
Command is pretty good. Like, I think in Pioneer it got banned like immediately. It's just like you counter Thoughtseize on turn 1 and draw a card. Like, kind of ridiculous.
It's time to show what we got. It's time
Right.
for some shiftiness.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Okay, decide destroying the mountain.
He's destroying the mountain, which means he can't cast his Goblin War Chief. You see. Hey, all of his permanents have that hexproof from blue and black. Look at that. Look at that fun
Unfortunately,
animation.
red, the key color
Yeah.
here.
Well, that was about as quick sideboarding as you can do because again, no sideboard to speak of. Yeah, both players' abilities to cast spells has been impressive. I was thinking we might just be like, drawing our card and passing the turn some amount of the time, but the mana has worked out. Shockingly.
Oh, I noticed that in Cody's deck, he has a Jaya Zimile. I wonder if we'll get played this
I
game.
don't know how many legends, and especially in a deck this large, you are unlikely to draw your legend. Well, the Beatdown Bringer might have the Beatdown draw here with the Akum Hellhound on turn 1.
Oh no! Oh no!
This is a card you don't want to lose to because it's not great.
I
Yeah.
remember drafting the Akum Hellhound deck. Just Akum Hellhound and Cleansing Wildfires. That's all you needed.
Yes, I chose to put cards that weren't those in my decks most of the time, but it's a thing you can do. It can get large. If the format had
Okay,
even like Evolving Wilds at common or something, the Akum Hellhound might have been more appealing.
so Cody is thinking about keeping a hand which he can't cast spells, and he has rightfully mulliganed it
That seems to be correct.
into
Yeah.
a hand that can cast spells.
Yeah, so I'll take this chance to give a thanks to Dan Beatdownbringer for filling in on commentary in the last league, coming in and providing some of that while you were unavailable. So thanks to him and congratulations on his top 8 appearance in the last league. So let's see what Cody decides to do here. Does he have cards he can cast? That is the question.
Yes, he can cast Reclaim the Wastes, which is probably one of the best cards in this format.
Well, in this stipulation, I think.
Yeah, in this stipulation
In this
format. That's what I'm saying.
one match
Yeah.
format. Yeah, so Dan has a mountain, a forest, a plains, and red and green and white cards. So his hand
All
almost
right.
looks like he's just playing a normal 3-color deck.
Yeah. Well, Cody has a Plains, a Swamp, a Forest, a Reclaim the Wastes, and 2 blue cards, which he's going to get Island for.
Okay.
Well, the blue card being Niall and Countervailing Winds.
They're just Trading emotes here in the meantime.
Try- Trying to make things a bit more spicy. All right, here it comes.
He's got the
He get
Urtai having a headache there, I think it was. Alright, so here's the Hellhound.
the beat down. Oh,
Yeah.
and there's the splendid agony off the top.
Yeah, this is Akuma Hellhound. It's certainly the scourge of play your whole pool week one stip matches for sure. This thing is just too powerful in this type of match.
Boom Hellhound is definitely not step links.
It's doing a pretty fair impersonation here.
It's true. There goes this cycle countervailing winds. Draws a Crypt Lurker.
Okay.
And then now he's just holding Splendid Agony. And you think he's gonna shrink the Faith Bonder and kill the Hellhound.
Oh well. We tried, Hellhound, we tried. Ooh, well, he's drawing a Kenra Charioteers. That's pretty good. It's a 3/3 for 3 that gives, I believe, everything trample.
Uh, looks like Cody decided that he wanted to take 1 damage this turn.
Yeah, this was from the era where the Gruul gold cards were not very inspired in their designs. It's just a 3 mana 3/3 with trample. That's it. And give other stuff trample.
Looking like he wants to put on the Charioteer.
Interesting they didn't just kill off the Hellhound there. I guess he can kill
Yeah,
it off. It can die anyway after, but
I guess he was trying to see if there's any value in killing something else that might have come down.
Maybe he figured, oh, he'll play like if he played another X1, right? That's the reason. If he plays another
Okay, well
X1, he gets to kill 2 things.
here comes a bomb of a card once he gets a mountain.
Okay.
Niel, Avizoa. No, never mind.
Okay.
He's playing Crypt Lurker.
All right. Crypt Looker comes down. Sort of a wonky
Discarding,
little
he's
weird
choosing.
3/4 here that he can draw a card with if he discards a creature. I guess it can sack itself if you desperately need to draw a card.
Yeah, he is going to. Okay, he was hovering. He was hovering. The sacrifice, the discard creature.
Yeah, so Dan doesn't really have a play here. Next turn he could play Iridescent Hornbeetle, which is a green card which cares about you getting +1 counters on your creatures.
Oh, it'd been funny if it cared about any counter.
Yeah, you at the end of your turn you get 1/1 tokens equal to the amount of counters placed on your creatures this turn, +1 counters. And then he's got a Frilled Sea Serpent if he draws a second blue source, as well as a Bite Down, which doesn't kill anything here. So this Niall can be quite the scourge here, particularly if he draws a mountain. It's going to be really really hard to deal with.
Look at top 5. Put 1 into your hand. That's when it hits. That's a really good card.
Yeah, and the good thing about that card is it's good even if you don't have the full domain. Like you still get some really really nice card selection. Right, so he's gonna play. Okay, so this is interesting. So he's basically enticing a block here, and then he'll be able to bite down. Yeah, so he's spent essentially 2 cards here to kill it off, but because of the trample, he actually does get to draw a card from the combat research. So because his creature had trample and a bit down, he did get to draw a card. So he got his card back there.
Okay, so
So
he has joined. He has drawn Torment of Hellfire, which was
okay,
the winning card for the last feature match.
I figure it would be very good in this format, or in this.
Only if you could get a second black.
I use the word format very very loosely here.
Yes.
Right, so he's just going to kill that creature off. He doesn't want it to get any more value. And here is an actual bomb in any limited format, Leyline Tyrant that he's just drawn. But he's going to play this Horn Beetle just to use his mana here and maybe to draw out a removal before he lands
What is
his.
Leyline Tyrant?
It's a 4/4 for 4 flying mythic dragon that you can bank red mana as long as it's in play.
Oh, okay. So it's just a big flying dragon.
And then when it dies, you could pay any amount of red and deal that much damage to any target. So you basically bank the red, and then when it dies, you can put a bunch of the red mana in the banked mana into dealing damage. Again,
Oh, okay, I see.
So you get to keep red mana throughout all the turns and phases. And it's also just a 4/4/4/4 flying. You know,
All
also
right.
very
Well,
good.
Cody might just say, "Let's have ourselves a joust," or just go offer a block.
Yeah, so Dan actually has an answer here. He has the Steel Crusher that can just drop this, crush this Jousting Lance. He also has a cast down that he can't cast right now because he doesn't have black, and he has a Frilled Sea Serpent, which he'll need another blue source. So he's hoping that what he has on board, a 4/4 flying and a 2/2 trample, he's hoping that that's going to be enough. All right, so Cody's not interested in blocking here. All right, he's drawn another uncastable Bishop of Wings, white for I believe a 1/4 that cares about angels.
Nah.
Yeah, we're seeing all the heavy hitters here. I believe that was a rare, unfortunately, in limited. Never wanted to see that one.
Looks like he was praying for a swamp for that torment, but the deck said, "I'll give you a plains." How about that?
Yeah,
Will that
Torment
work?
would have been timely here, but I mean, Dan does have a bunch of cards in hand. Like
And to sack.
he has three uncastables in hand, so if a Torment comes down, he could just drop those pretty happily.
Yeah, all he'd have to really do is sack a creature, and he'd be fine.
All right, so he's gonna have to hold back this turn.
Well, he's just dead on board. There's 8 trample because of the charioteers.
Yeah. So unless he has something here, this is gonna end it. Yeah. So Dan, he's drawn something he can cast at least in Sunset Pyramid, but he could pretty safely just venture into attacks here.
Here they come.
Okay, so he's actually gonna leave the dragon out of combat. He says, I don't need to risk it just in case he has something. This card is a potential win con, especially with the banking of the red mana. So
Okay,
he's
so he's
just
actually
gonna,
given.
so
Okay,
I mean, in that case, I mean, he just needed a removal there. So we saw the beatdown be brought, starting with the Akum Hellhound, and then eventually this trample being extremely relevant in a couple spots here. So that charioteer did quite a bit there, came down and actually did come up the trample there, especially at the end. So thank you for the entertainment for our two feature match players, and congratulations to Dan Beatdown Bringer as he takes this match, and Cody-Rayce goes 1-1 in his two feature matches tonight. So thanks all the players, and we'll be back next week for some more feature matches.